I'm so thrilled. I feel like I'm done. Here we go. Never been so happy to get chemo. Take a good look, because this is the last time. When we were in Quebec City, it was raining and raining and raining. That was just 2 days after the diagnosis. And I remember going through the Citadel, and I remember seeing all that stuff about the soldiers and the war.
It's hilarious. I'm throwing back there right now.
Oh, yeah.
The tour guide, his name was Josh, right?
I loved him.
Yeah.
And I remember going through all those rooms and seeing all those, like, thinking of all those young boys in the trenches, and like being eaten by rats and all that, and like no food and just no hygiene, and then just getting blown up, and everyone getting blown up already. And I was thinking, what am I complaining about chemo? I was just thinking about that. And then I remember I was terrified. I was terrified, but then I was just thinking, trying to get some perspective, right? I was thinking, it's going to be people trying to make sure I feel good. And I remember just having that conversation in my own mind as I was going through there. And then I remember being at that gorgeous museum in Quebec City.
Oh, that was at the Museum of Civilization or Museum of Natural History or something.
And I remember when Lucy and Bella were in that.
It was the Egypt exhibit. It was Ramses or something.
Oh, right? I remember that. I would think, this is kind of odd that it's so much about death. And remember, we brought every movie we brought. It was
about preserving.
Yeah, and every movie we brought was about death.
Oh, there was some reference to death in every movie that we got.
It was the Corpse Bride, the Nightmare Before Christmas, Edward Scissorhands.
It was a big, like, Tim Burton fest.
You want to check on this? 1, 2, 3.
I remember Lucy and Bella were in the kids area, and you were lying down on those benches outside the kids area, remember? Look in the atrium. Yeah. You were just lying there. And I was Googling.
Oh, yeah, I know what it was almost like steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had my little iPhone, which was just like nonstop beautiful email messages from everybody all weekend. And I remember Googling chemo, and like, chemo, can you jog when you're on chemo? Can you do this when you're on chemo? Like, I was just so totally afraid. And I can't believe that now. I cannot believe that that weekend was like within days of finding out we were in this situation. I really thought I could not think ahead to this day.
When I learned about the bell, to me that just became such a symbol. It was like, okay, we will hit this day, and this day
you should have tried the bell out first.
Yeah, exactly. Because I have to tell you, that bell was such a letdown for me that it was like, it almost diminished the value of today.
Oh, no,
it really did.
Maybe it was
for
a
me,
big joke.
I mean, that's why I'm.
Well, imagine me. Imagine my surprise. Thunk.
Well, yeah, I know, but imagine, like, I'm standing across the way, I've got audio recorders and video cameras all evening, waiting to hear this bing
bong
or something like that.
Like a nice deep bong.
Well, it was too small a bell to be a bong, right? But I imagine.
I was even surprised how small it was, even though I walked by it all the time. When I saw it, I thought, is that what I'm going to do?
But it's funny because when you pulled the rope and you hear this little. Well, I'll take care of that in the edit.
This is the funny thing. Last year when I was at EDC, I had to edit this article, which was about this woman's daughter who, she was only 29 and she got breast cancer, and it was a whole story about that, right? Like, kind of ominous foreshadowing story. When I was editing that article, there were 2 photographs, one of her getting chemo and another one of her with the bell, right? And she was like this, like, it was just kind of this pose thing where she was kind of jokingly grabbing onto the bell thing, like it was a toy. Yeah. And it's like, oh, now all these, like, it's like a year later, now I understand. It's not a real bell. It's kind of a prop.
Yeah. 2. Oh, that's us.
Yay. I'm just so pleased beyond belief, because I thought when I came out of chemo I'd be a totally different person.
You're basically the same person. Well, actually, no. I think you're a better person. I honestly do. I feel like you have a better sense of yourself. You've gone through this whole process of emotional and physical healing. Your attitude is unbelievable, and I think it ever evolves. It's always been positive. I think the little things that you're picking up along the way have augmented this amazing attitude that is just totally inspiring, not just for me, and believe me, it is for me, but all these people who are following the blog. I think it's just, I think what's come out of this whole process is nothing like I ever would have expected.
Wear your hat and be proud to wear it, but lock it.
Hi again. Are you joining us over in this area?
Yeah.
Oh well, you must be over here.
Yes. Sure, come for a treatment. Come on, join us.
My steroids don't affect me at all during the day, and then at night I become this brilliant creative genius, and I can't sleep.
I really, really feel like we're going to have a long, healthy, happy life. And I also feel that whatever time we have is going to be better.
Oh,
because
when you say whatever time, I hope you realize it's going to be like another 40 years.
I know. I'm just saying, though, you know, a lot of young people die of cancer.
Oh, it's very sad.
And it's very sad, and you know, we can't tell the future any more than we could predict. This time last year, I started a new job, like today. You know, a brand new job, March 30th. And little could I predict, on my birthday, August 24th, that I would, within a week, find a cancerous lump, right? Like, you just can't predict the future. But all I'm saying is that I really think this experience is good for Lucy and Bella. And I think that the time and attention and togetherness and the changes in, you know, the core pace. Mm-hmm. I know your pace is really, really crazy, but I think, I don't know, I think it's really good for Lucy and Bella, and it's good for me. And I pray that we all have a long, healthy, happy life together. And regardless, I really think the experience is doing a lot of good.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Bye. Bye. Thank you. All the best to you too.
I had like no thoughts because I was with Lucy and Bella and your parents, and I was just kind of, it all happened too fast to me. Like, oh, that's the bell. Oh, clunk. Oh.
It was funny because I think you were so shocked the first time that it went clunk, but you pulled it a second time.
I was like, is that for real?
First, yeah.
After this is, I'm 6 months worth of chemo, and this is all I get.
Probably hard to imagine now, but in the future there'll be days where you won't even think about cancer all day long.